This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Excel 1970-73 Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler YouTube channel.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the 1970-73 Summer Carryover League. We have the final series in the American League before the All-Star break, a series with the Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox. Of course, Toronto did not exist in the early 70s. They weren't around. Boston was outstanding, but did not come away with any postseason work because the Orioles and the Tigers in the American League East during this era. But Boston's got a fantastic team, was a #1 seed a year ago. Let's take a look at what happened in this series. Game number 1 in Fenway Park. Bill Zepp for the Toronto Blue Jays and Marty Patton for Boston. And early on, a run in the first for the Blue Jays. After a double play, Carlton Fisk reaches on a 2-base error by AG, then an error by Bill Zepp, then an error by Jim Brazil. Pretty bad start there for the Blue Jay defense, which is meh, but that's below meh. Yeah, 1-1. The Blue Jays get a few more runs in this game. Boston eventually matriculates 4 hits in the 5th, a double and a triple in the 6th, 3 more base runners in the 7th, and they get out of this game pretty easily. A 7-3 victory. Marty Patton beats Bill Zepp in the first game, 7-3. Game 2 of this series features Tom Phoebus versus Sonny Siebert, the ace of the Red Sox. And this one's a little worse for the Blue Jays because the Red Sox just start, getting base runners on in the first few innings. They get a 4-0 lead. Then in the middle innings, 4 singles in the 5th. It's 6-0. Sonny Siebert is completely unfazed by this Blue Jay lineup. He gets a complete game, 6-0 victory, scattering 6 hits, walking 3, striking out 7. Tom Phoebus got knocked out in the 5th. Toronto had to empty their bullpen a little bit. It's 2-0, and clearly, as tough as the Blue Jays have played the Yankees and the Orioles earlier this year, they're just not doing it at this point against the Red Sox. But they'll have a day off to think about things before going to Canada. And let's see what happens up north in the Great White North. Game number 3. The Red Sox will send the spaceman, Bill Lee, against Doyle Alexander, the ace of the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, early on in this thing, the Red Sox get a homer from John Kennedy, an RBI doubles and singles by Fisk and Reggie Smith. It's 3-0, and you're thinking, oh boy, a sweep is on the way. But the Blue Jays get an RBI double by AG in the 4th. After a 2-run homer by Reggie Smith to make this thing 5-1, the Blue Jays, believe it or not, peck away off the spaceman in the middle innings. A triple and a single, 3 singles here. They knock the spaceman out in the 7th inning. And look, folks, the Blue Jays score in the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th inning, and eventually the 8th inning. This Blue Jay offense, which was just spare parts laying around baseball, they've cobbled together a nice little team suddenly who, once they got home in Canada, put a ton of guys on base, and Doyle Alexander, the ace, survived with 5 runs early, but he pitched well in the later innings, got a complete game. Toronto wins a baseball game, folks. They win 9-5, and they have a chance to tie things up at Game 4 at home. What happens in Game 4 now in Toronto? Surely the Red Sox aren't going to let the Blue Jays come back in this series. They have Louis Tiant against Paul Splittorff. And again, folks, where is this Toronto offense coming from? A couple runs in the first, a 2-run homer by Brazil in the 3rd, 2-run homer Milt May here, And then the Boston bullpen implodes. Roger Moret and Gary Wagner. I mean, Boston does, some nice stuff offensively. They do score 5 runs. But it's really Paul Splittorff playing Houdini in this game. As he put 2 guys on the first, they didn't score. Left 2 guys on the second. Loaded the bases in the third. A guy in the fourth. Loaded them in the fifth. Eventually, they get to him in the 6th inning. But Splittorff put 17 men on in 6 innings. And only surrendered 4 runs. Too much left on base. The final score in this one, again, Toronto. Back-to-back 9-5 victories. This series tied up. What is going on? What is going on in Strat-O-Matic, folks? The Toronto Blue Jays, I will give their manager the Manager of the Year award for this spare part team. Played the Orioles tough, beat up on the Yankees, and now it's tied up with the Red Sox. Inexplicably. So surely, the number 1 seed Red Sox from a year ago, a team that dusted the Detroit Tigers on opening day this year, surely they can get the road win in Game 5 and enjoy a nice flight back to Fenway, right? Well, here we are, Game 5. Early on, we have Boston flexing some muscles. Reggie Smith hits a homer here. A couple doubles by Kennedy and Yaz. It's 3-0. But a 2-run homer, Tommy A.G., former Met with a World Series ring. It's 3-2. But in the 6th inning, starter Bill Zepp gets, he gets into trouble, and his bullpen doesn't help. A single, a double, a single, a single, a walk, and a single. The first 7 guys reach. It is an 8-2 game, and we're thinking, okay, this is that moment where we finally crack the Toronto Blue Jays. But in the bottom of the 6th, an error by Petrocelli, a single, and Jim Brazil, the third baseman, 3-run homer, and it's suddenly 8-2 is 8-5. So Siebert's out after 6 kind of meh innings. Roger Moret comes on to the 7th. A single to Carl Taylor, a single to Mike Lum, and then Tommy A.G., 2nd time going long, a 3-run bomb. What was an 8-2 Boston victory is suddenly an 8-8 game. Tommy A.G. is the all-star. He's the best player acquired in the offseason from the Mets. Doing exactly what the Mets thought he would do, which was mess up the American League East. And he certainly is. 8-8 game, and the Boston offense just clams up against a mediocre Toronto bullpen. Bottom of the 8th, that Blue Jays manufacture another run off of the closer, Gary Wagner. It's 9-8. Folks, the Toronto Blue Jays, can they close this thing out? They bring their all-star closer, Joe Gracenda, in. 3 up and 3 down in the 9th inning. The home team has won every game, which means Toronto Blue Jays are up 3-2 in this series against the Red Sox. And the Red Sox, they technically still have home field advantage because games 6 and 7 are in Fenway. They'll need to win both to stay in first place, but more importantly, to avoid the embarrassment of losing to a fictional baseball team. You're supposed to be the number 1 seed. We are seeing in the National League the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Mets, and to a closer extent the Dodgers, just dusting their opponents. In the American League, everybody's struggling. Oakland struggled against Seattle. The Yankees and the Orioles didn't do much. The Tigers, they look pretty good, and the Twins look okay. I have no idea what's happened in the American League this year. This should be Red Sox territory. But they are down in the series to the Toronto Blue Jays. Unbelievable. We are in Fenway Park for a Game 6. The starting pitchers, the number 4 starter, the weakest starter on Toronto's team, in Fenway, that's not a good recipe, is Tom Phoebus. Phoebus, by the way, 1970 would have gotten a World Series ring for the Orioles. 5-5, 3.07 ERA. And for the Red Sox, having a decent year, Marty Patton, he's got a win on YouTube, I believe. 14-game winner for Milwaukee in 70 with a 3.40 ERA, pitching on 3 days rest. Eventually gets traded to the Red Sox, of course, and then traded to Kansas City. Tom Phoebus, Marty Patton in Fenway Park, and the honeymoon is over, and the Red Sox need to put the pedal to the metal here at Fenway, where the home fans, they will quick to turn on their beloved Sox if they don't put much of an effort in. hopefully for the Sox, that Canada experience is an aberration. All right, so leading off for the Blue Jays is Terry Crowley, 67, base hit. Mike Lum, 1-5, a base hit to left field. Crowley holds his second. He can't run very much. And here's Tommy A.G., and oh boy, he's getting quite an ovation. Not a good one either. 2-1, nobody out. 57 off of Patton is a K. Milt May, 68 off of Patton is single one of 15. That is a single. Here we go, folks. Toronto, one of the worst offenses in baseball, has been rolling with 27 runs in the last 3 games. 9-5, 9-5, and 9-8 victories, and they've got them loaded in the first. And here is Jim Brazil. Let's take a look at this guy, the third baseman. So if you're wondering, you probably don't know this guy, because I certainly didn't. He only had 85 at-bats in 1972 for the Atlanta Braves, but plenty of power in those pinch-hitting experiences. Corner infielder, extra player. Of course, the Braves didn't really need him, so Toronto selected him in the expansion draft. Bases loaded, 1 out. The pitch to Jim Brazil. 110 is a single to center. Lum will not challenge Reggie Smith. The good thing for Boston, they have outstanding arms. You know, a -4 arm for Reggie Smith, and Fisk has got a -3 arm. Catching, bases loaded, 1 out. It'll be Frank Fernandez. 2-6 is a K, and with 2 outs, Bill Voss. 69 off Patton is ball 4. He walks in a run, and it's 2-0. Darrell Chaney, the shortstop, or second baseman today, yeah. 39, grounds the first. Well, 2-0. Boston is expected to put crooked number runs on the board, so they're not too concerned. Mike Andrews leads off. 4-10. This guy's right. Yastrzemski, 56, is 1-1-4, base hit. He is an ace stealer, but May's got a nice throwing arm, and he'll stay put. Carlton Fisk, 64, third X, oh boy. Brazil's a 4-18, and it's a double play on a 4-18 third baseman. Well, the other thing, folks, we have to mention is that how lucky the Toronto Blue Jays have been in this little spurt of winning. And the other thing is, they're only a game under 500. If they win this game, the Toronto Blue Jays will be at 500 with an expansion roster. Unbelievable. Top of 2, Tim Foley. 2-4, sky's left. Terry Crowley, 37 is a K. Mike Lum, 68. They're hitting this Patton card, the 6 column, single one of 15. It rolls it forward, it's a base hit. And Tommy A.G., 48, sky's the center. Bottom of the second, it's Tommy Harper, batting cleanup today. He had 31 homers for Milwaukee with this card. 66, off of Phoebus is a base hit. Being held on, of course. Reggie Smith. 2-4 is a 1-6-3 double play. Wow, you might think, why didn't Harper try and steal? And it's Boston. They should be turning, batting around. And Tom Phoebus puts a ton of guys on base against left-handers like Reggie Smith. So, whatever. Rico Petrocelli, 110, flies a left. The thus far disinterested Red Sox need to become interested, is what I can say. Milt May in the third leads it off, 6-10. Bouncer to short. Petrocelli, a 3 short, makes the play. Here's Brazil, again, 5-10, catcher's card. Fisk is a 1-16, makes the play. Frank Fernandez, 65, 1-1 off the Patton card again, single. Bill Voss, 2-8 is a roller to first. Just 2-zip. Larry Stahl for the Sox. They decided to get Larry Stahl's a bench player, but he's left-handed. They wanted to get some extra lefties in here against Phoebus, who's well below average against lefties. And Larry Stahl on cue walks off the Phoebus card. John Kennedy, 1-8, follows that up with a 6-4-3 double play, and this is the recipe for disaster for the Boston Red Sox. 3 double plays already through 8 batters. What is happening today, folks? They were up 2-0 in the series, and they've stunk up the joint. The American League is not looking good, folks. At this point. Angel Bravo, 37's a walk. I mean, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Seattle Mariners beat the Oakland A's 4-2. And, yeah, said enough. You get the idea. Mike Andrews, 310. Sky's the left. You know, if the World Series, since I'm beating this into the ground, if the World Series was the Cincinnati Reds versus the New York Mets, that would be a classic. That would, hopefully they'll meet in the League Championship Series, because they are clearly the best two teams in all of the Strat-O-Matic this year. Let's go to the 4th inning. Leading off, it's Daryl Cheney. 68, again, off the patent card, 1-15, another base hit. Tim Foley, 411, left X. Harper's 2-8 in left field. He makes the catch. Terry Crowley, 37 is a K. Mike Lum, 64, off the patent card. Homer, 1-8, triple. Rolls a 10, that's a triple, and another run. Whole lot of head scratching going on here. Runner at third, 2 outs for Tommy A.G. 2-8's a K. 3-0 Toronto in Fenway. We go to the 4th. Yastrzemski, 52, Sky's the center. Carlton Fisk, 2-7 is a K. Tommy Harper, 312, double one single. With 2 outs, do you try a steal down 3? Well, you know what? It's not like he's going to hit into a double play, right? Because there's 2 outs already. Now, they got to let Reggie Smith go for a 2-run homer here. Reggie Smith, 69, bounce to second. Top of the 5th, Milt May, 39, single 1-9, lines out. Jim Brazil, 65, off the patent card, double. How many hits off of patent's card do we have today? Well, the Blue Jays have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits through 5 innings. I don't recall. Yeah, I don't know if they rolled a hit on their card. No? Lum did. Lum got a hit on his card. And Brazil did there. That's it. It's all been patent imploding. Runner on second for Frank Fernandez. 43. First X. This is Yaz. And he's very good, of course. Not a 1, but he's a 2. He's 16. He's 16. Take that error off the board. And it is a GBA. Home team has that option by looking at this result and putting the proper result in, which is a 16. So we take the error off the board, we put Yaz's exact E rating in, and then roll, and he gobbles it up. The runner goes to third with 2 outs for Bill Voss. 35, Bill Voss. Played for the Red Sox last year, was that defensive replacement for Canigliaro. Let's take a look at the card. Bill Voss was a Milwaukee Brewer. I think he played for the Angels also. Hit .251 in 1971 with this card, with 2 outs. Just rolled the 3-5 2-run homer. It is 5-0, folks. In the 5th inning, it is 5-0. And the Toronto bullpen is on alert. They are not going to let Phoebus lose this game. Heck, they might even, if Phoebus starts to get lit up in the 5th, they might not even let him qualify for a win with a 5-run lead in Fenway. Daryl Cheney, 66, off the patent card, base hit. Tim Foley, 1-8 is a grounder to short. The Boston bullpen has been pretty lousy this series as well. They got a decent bullpen. Both bullpens are... Toronto has a great closer and decent setup guys. Boston's got Roger Moret. He used to be a starter. He's good. Gary Wagner's still hanging in there. So, we'll see what happens. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th. Rico Petrocelli. 512. Right X. And this is our boy, Bill Voss. He's also good defensively. A 2E4. And he makes the catch. Hurting his former team. Larry Stahl, 410. Skies to right field again. And John Kennedy, 212. Pops to shortstop. What is happening in Fenway Park? It is 5-0 Blue Jays. trying to rip off a 4-game winning streak and go into the All-Star game and completely screw up the American League standings. Oh boy. So, now we've been lamenting Patton. Do we hook him here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hits. I mean, whatever. Let's get him out of there. We'll get Patton out. Boston's got to try something. They're going to go John Curtis in the 6th inning. Let's try a lefty against this Blue Jay lineup and maybe get some of these guys out of there that have been hurting them. So John Curtis, actually, he's a very good pitcher. He was 11-8 in 1972 with a 3.74 ERA and 154 innings. The Red Sox had enough starters, so Curtis is put into the long roll. No better moment than now to stop the bleeding. Down 5. Terry Crowley, the leadoff hitter, left-handed batter, will come out of the game, and that will also slightly hurt the defense of the Blue Jays as Carl Taylor is worse. Carl Taylor's the pinch hitter and first baseman. The pitch to Carl. 38's ball 4. Mike Lum hits lefties okay. Let's take a look at Mike Lum's card. This would be Mike Lum's best card. In Atlanta in that magical year of 1973 when everybody hit 40 home runs, Lum's card is outstanding. 294. 513 at-bats, career high, 16 home runs for a guy who would mostly be a pinch hitter and defensive replacement in his stint in the National League. The pitch to Mike Lum. 1-7 is a base hit to center field, and it won't challenge Reggie Smith. First and second, nobody out. Tommy A.G. having a quiet day, he's 0 for 3. 37 is a K. Milt May hits lefties all right, he'll stick around. 1-4, lines a second, and with 2 outs, this would be a big win for the Sox if they put a 0 up. Jim Brazil, 34, lines a second base. John Curtis comes roaring back there after putting the first 2 guys on. So Red Sox have some momentum into the 6th inning. This is Phoebus's breaking inning. You could hook him right now with a shutout. I mean, what always happens in Strat is you have a really mediocre pitcher throwing a shutout, and the temptation is to leave him in there. And when that happens, usually the shutout team gets 6 guys on in a row. But Angel Bravo, a left-handed batter, put in specifically because he was his pitching, does not normally encourage a pinch hitter. Not to mention that if you do switch up to a lefty, you do have Conigliaro, Jerry Moses, and Doug Griffin available. So let's keep riding this Phoebus train a little longer. Angel Bravo, 1-7 is a K. Mike Andrews, 110, skies the center, and Yaz. Surly Yastrzemski can get a second hit. The pitch to Yastrzemski, 58, he'll take the walk. That's fine. Now for Carlton Fisk, let's take a look at Fisk's card. He's actually a heck of a lot better against righties than lefties. His second year in the league in 1972 with 22 home runs and a .293 batting average. His first 2 years in his rookie of the year in 71 is also an outstanding card. But here we go, Carlton Fisk with a runner on and 2 outs. The pitch to Carlton. 58 off of Phoebus is a bouncer to short. Now here's Tim Foley, who was a 2, but he's an E44. And Foley, GBA! Innings over in Fenway. It stays 5-zip. It's a puzzled, confused series here by what was once a red-hot Boston team. Top of the 7th, Frank Fernandez. 1-9 is ball 4. Bill Voss, who had the big 2-run homer, but he will leave against a left-handed pitcher, as Curtis's mission is to get some of these guys out of the game. Yvonne Morel will be the pinch hitter. 36, Morel strikes out. He'll go to left and Lum will go to right. Darrell Chaney, he'll come out of the game. He can't hit lefties. It'll be Dan Monzon. Now, you could go to a righty now if you wanted to, but frankly, Dan Monzon's not much to talk about, so. 69 off of Curtis is second C. Runner at second with 2 outs, and it's Tim Foley, weakest hitter on the team. But now that you've loaded up with righties, let's get Curtis out of there after inning and 2/3. He will leave, and now we got all these righties coming up, and we're going to go to Bob Bolin. Let's take a look at him. Bolin was very good in the 60s. Then in the early 70s, I think he got injured and missed a season. And he rebounds nicely with this 1973 card with the Sox. The 2.70 ERA in 53 innings is the best reliever against right-handed hitters in the Boston pen. So he comes on with a runner at first and 2 outs, runner at second and 2 outs, to face Tim Foley. The pitch to Tim Foley. 1-7 is going to be a strikeout. Stretch time in Boston. We have been listening to The Remains, 1966 LP, kind of compatriots of the Standells and that, pop, psychedelic power scene in the late mid-60s from Boston. Let's get back to the game. Bottom of the 7th. 5-0, Tom Phoebus throwing a shutout. If Harper gets on, they might hook him, because then you'll have 3 out of the next 5 guys will be left-handed. Tommy Harper, leading off in the 7th. He's been on twice. 66 on cue is a single. I think this is where the Blue Jays recognize it's a 5-0 lead. They have a closer who went to the All-Star game last year. So they are going to take out Tom Phoebus throwing a 4-hit shutout. He's being hooked from the game. And maybe this will be the spark for the Red Sox, as this might be a disastrous move. Because it's only 5-0, and we know these Red Sox are capable at any moment of batting around. So with a leadoff single and speed at first, Dick Ellsworth will be the first Toronto pitcher to come in the 7th inning. Ellsworth was a Brewer. We're seeing a lot of Milwaukee Brewer players, actually, on this team. 3.81 ERA in 1970. He may have been a Seattle Pilot before that, I'm not sure. But Dick Ellsworth in the 7th will face Reggie Smith, who's actually better against righties anyway. The pitch to Reggie. 63 off of Ellsworth is short X. This is Foley. The 2E44 at short is a GBA. That is number 5. Oh my goodness. Double play number 4. The 4th double play of this game. In one of the most strangest series I've played in Strat in a very long time. And the Blue Jays, they never had a 5-run lead in any of those victories they had. Unbelievable. 2 outs in the 7th inning. It's Rico Petrocelli. 56 is a strikeout. Now the Orioles could not, the Orioles beat the Red Sox 4-3, but that was tighter than this. And of course the Red Sox beat up the Yankees, but these Blue Jays are being a real thorn in the American League at the present time. We go to the 8th inning. Bob Boleyn will continue against these right-handed batters. Carl Taylor leads off. 2-7 to walk. Mike Lum. 2-9, you saw Lum's card earlier. Homer, 1-5, double. He gets the double. 2nd and 3rd, it's Tommy A.G., and I think they got to bring the infield up. This is getting out of hand here. They can't afford any more runs. 2nd and 3rd are going to bring it up so they don't score from 3rd here. The pitch to Tommy A.G. 52 is a sac fly to center field anyway, and it's 6-0. Runner at 2nd and 1 out, and Boland's gone because we got some lefties coming up now. He only gets 2 batters out. It'll be Roger Moret. Let's take a look at Roger. Yeah, he's would have been an outstanding starter for this team, but they got plenty of great starters. Siebert, Lee, Tion, Patton, possibly Curtis, possibly Moret. Moret, 4-3 with a 2.92 ERA in 71. I believe he had one of those starts in the 75 World Series against Cincinnati. I think that Moret started one of those games. If I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. He comes on in the 8th inning with a runner at 2nd and 1 out to face Milt May. Milt is 1-for-4 in this game. 35 on cue. Are you kidding me? Let's take a look at Milt May's card. This is a curious card because of the percentages. So Milt May, you'd think he'd bat mostly against righties, and he does. 83%. 6 home runs and 126 at-bats. But Strat gave him equal home run potential in that small percentage, because he probably had one of the 6. You figure 17% is 1/6. So one of those 6 homers was against lefties, and yet they gave him a lot of home runs on the card, which makes him an everyday player for this expansion Toronto team. Pretty clever move for the Blue Jays of who they go after and get. Him and Jim Brazil, 2 everyday players for their team. They were only extra player expansion guys. That's a 3-run homer, ladies and gentlemen. A 2-run homer. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 9-0. 8-0, excuse me. It is 8-0 with 1 out in the 8th inning. Jim Brazil, 64 off Moret, his catcher's card. Fisk is a 1. Makes the play. Frank Fernandez, 47, single 1 at 12, lines out. Before we go to the 8th, let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay, Ellsworth. We'll continue. Larry Stahl, he'll leave, of course. And Ellsworth's mission is to get these left-handed batters just out of the game. Down 8. It's like taking your car to a mechanic with 300,000 miles and saying, what preventative maintenance can I do? Like, there is no preventative maintenance, you know. So what's the right strategy for the Red Sox here? There is no right strategy. You just got to get 8 guys on base. Tony Conigliaro leads off in the bottom of the 8th as a pinch hitter. 1-8, and there's a base hit, and he gets some applause. John Kennedy, 35, skies a left. Angel Bravo will be lifted for a pinch hitter, which will be Doug Griffin. And that'll get Ellsworth out of there after an inning and a third. His mission was to get the lefties out of the lineup, and he did. Phil Hennigan will come on in. The runner on. Take a look at Phil. He had a nice year with Cleveland. 5-3, 2.69 ERA in 1972. Gives up the long ball, but doesn't really give up a lot of hits otherwise. Kind of one of those all-or-nothing relievers. He comes on here in the 8th with a runner at first and 1 out. And he will face Doug Griffin. Pitch to Doug. 59, second C. Runner on second with 2 outs for Mike Andrews. 35, Andrews comes through with a single to right field. Conigliaro could run here, could ruin the shutout. He's a 12 runner, 13-14 with a -1 of Mike Lemon right field. That's all right. We'd rather have Yaz hit a 3-run homer if he can. So Yaz will bat with runners on the corners and 2 outs here in the 8th inning. The pitch to Yastrzemski. 4-4 off of Hennigan is third X. Brazil's not good. He's a 4.18. This is where you got to exploit this. And they do for a single. And the Red Sox get on the board 8-1. First and second with 2 outs. Now they're counting outs, do the Blue Jays, for Grisenda is warmed up and ready to go here. It'll be Carlton Fisk. 57 off of Hennigan is a strikeout. It is an 8-1 game in the 9th. And the Red Sox will go to Gary Wagner in the 9th. The last hope here in what could be elimination. It would be, if there's a team that can do this, it's the Boston Red Sox. Against the Toronto Blue Jay team, you know, get 8 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. A Fenway miracle? Yep, it's certainly possible. Ivan Morel leads off in the 9th inning. 5-11, pitcher X. Wagner's an E36. And that's going to be an error. Morel reaches. Dan Monson, 58, second X. Now you got Doug Griffin, the 1 second baseman. That's a double play. And with 2 outs, it's Tim Foley. 57 is a K. All right, bottom of the 9th, and the Blue Jays are not going to hesitate. They're just going to go to their closer here with a 7-run lead in a closeout game. Just have to do it that way. It is Joe Grisenda. Excellent pitcher, was a Washington Senator in 1971. 5-2 with a 1.93 ERA. It's amazing that the Blue Jays found all this talent left over from teams who couldn't protect everything. And in the expansion draft, when you Toronto and Seattle usually, because they existed, as did Arizona and Colorado traditionally, versus the fictional teams I invented like the Las Vegas and Portland. The actual expansion teams got first dibs, so they usually are a little better than Las Vegas's and Portland's and the Ohio player team, for instance. Bottom of the ninth. Grisenda is in there. And it will be Tommy Harper to lead things off. 59 rolls a second. Reggie Smith. 38 is a sky to left field. And with 2 outs, Rico Petrocelli. They go weakly into the ninth. And oh my goodness, folks, the fans in Fenway are not pleased at all. A disaster in Fenway. The Toronto Blue Jays go on a 4-game winning streak against arguably the best team in the American League. Win Game 6 in a blowout, 8-1. They've scored 9, 9, 9, and 8 runs with one of the worst offenses in all of Strat. Let's get to the box and a look at the standings and so forth here. Gary Wagner in the 9th, struck out a guy. Moret in the 8th. Faced Milt May, gave up that homer, and then got a couple guys out. Bolin got 1 out in the 7th and 1 out in the 8th. He faced Foley, struck him out, but is responsible for the hit, walk, and 2 runs, thanks to that homer that Moret gave up. Curtis, inning and 2/3, was actually okay. A hit, walk, and a K in the 6th, and then a walk and a K in the 7th. We hooked Patton, who will take the loss. Again, 11 hits in 5 innings, folks. That's just, yeah, it's not going to happen. 2, 3, 4, 5 runs. They're all earned. A walk, 5 strikeouts. Grisenda, of course, doesn't get a save, but he gets a 3-up, 3-down inning. Hennigan came on in the 8th. And faced Doug Griffin. Got him out. Gave up 2 singles, though. And a hit, a run, and a K. A hit, a run, and a K for Ellsworth. Actually, no, I didn't give up a hit. He gave up, he gave up a run in the 8th inning, and that's charged to him. That hit in the 7th belonged to Phoebus, but he didn't score. So Phoebus was 6 innings and a batter with the win. The hit in the 7th he gave up didn't matter. So he did give up just the 4 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits with a shutout. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. 1-0-09, 0-1-0-9, 8-14, 1-7. 4-9, 3-5, 3-5, 4-9. The box score is as bad as you can imagine. 18 Blue Jay players reach to 10 for the Red Sox. Unbelievable. That is Game 6. You know, the American League postseason tournament that goes to seeding will turn into be like a March Madness. You know, we'll have a really low-seeded team go on a miracle run here and get to the World Series. Who knows who's going to the World Series in the American League? I can't figure out. It's just been, you know, the Orioles and the A's allegedly would be the candidates. The Red Sox are now just 15-12 in a completely wide-open American League East. Hitting .272, but a .448 ERA is killing them. Their pitchers are pretty good. They're just, last year they pitched much better and got the #1 seed. This year, the Red Sox pitching is looking like Red Sox pitching, and it's just not doing much. Offensively, though, .272, pretty good. Actually, all the hitters are doing about the same amount. No particular player stands out here. We got 4 guys with 20, 20, 20, and 21 RBI. So the balance is there for the Sox offensively, aside from this huge slump they just got in. And the Toronto Blue Jays, find themselves a game and a half out of first place, 15-15. They are at 500. In the National League, the Pittsburgh Pirates are 12-15, just for reference. Let's see here. The Pittsburgh Pirates' top 3 players might be Roberto Clemente, Willie Stargell, Manny Sanguillen. And the Toronto comparisons would be Tommy A.G., Mike Lum, and Milt May. Yeah, just to give you like a head-to-head comparison there. The Blue Jays are over 250. They're hitting 253 now with a 3.81 ERA. They also have 917 points going for the Commissioner Award, which would give them a draft pick next year, an extra draft pick. Top pitcher is Doyle Alexander. Only 53 innings because he can't pitch on 3 days rest, but he's 4-1. Grisenda, that closer we showed you, has 8 saves. He could go to the All-Star game. Brazil, this third baseman, is 10 homer and 23 RBIs to pace the team in homers. But Tommy A.G. is the star. Believe it or not, A.G. is pretty pedestrian with 5 homer and 13 RBI, but has 4 stolen bases, 7 walks, 34 strikeouts. He's 33 for 122, 270. So clearly, statistically, he would be a step down if he was a Met, but a step up because he's a Blue Jay. Again, the Mets have Willie Mays in AG's roster spot. We have played 460 games as we Merrickley moves to the All-Star break. We're hitting 264 with a 3.90 ERA. And one more quick peek at the American League East standings. Wow, the Red Sox and Orioles are half a game apart. Blue Jays could still win this thing, and even the Yankees are just 4 games out. The Tigers look like they have the best record in the American League. Yeah, they're going to probably be the #1 seed going to the postseason tournament. Congratulations, Tigers. Oddly enough, yeah, your World Series teams, the Tigers and the Mets, they're coming back this year with the best records again. Could meet in the World Series for 2 years in a row. That's it today. Congratulations, Toronto Blue Jays coming back 0-2 to stun the baseball community. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.